Don't you ever, ever, ever consume these products from an airplane from a flight attendant.
Oh God.
Rule number 1, never consume any liquid that is not in a can or a bottle. The reason being is because those water tanks are never cleaned and they are disgusting. So talk to a flight attendant.
Oh no, I've drunk loads of water from the plane just out of a cup.
They come from the same water tank, and so when you're drinking that coffee and tea, it comes from that hot water, and it's absolutely disgusting. So these little coffee guys, they are rarely cleaned unless they are broken. These guys are taken out and cleaned in between flights, but the whole machine is never cleaned. And they're by the lavatories. So pro tip for all you parents, never ask for hot water and put it in your baby's bottle. Ask for a bottled water on the side and hot water in a cup. Then make your baby a bottle with the bottled water and put it in the cup and heat it up.
The nastiest parts on an airplane from a flight attendant. First things first, do not touch the backseat pocket. They clean them out between flights, but they don't sanitize them. Think of all the dirty tissues, barf bags, and garbage.
I always go to them straight away to read.
Next, if you're going to use your tray table, make sure you sanitize it. I have seen so many parents use this as a changing table for their child's diaper, and then they put it in the backseat pocket.
Oh!
Yeah, those air vents, they've seen thousands of hands. Wipe them down before you touch them. Next up is our safety guide cards. We don't sanitize them, and a lot of people touch and read these to pass by time. Yeah, just wipe it. Next, when entering the lavatory, use a tissue to lock the door. And a little tip for females, you can always find pads hidden in a compartment in the lavatory.
Here are some secret spots on an airplane from a flight attendant. Okay, before I tell you guys, first things first, don't even try to get into these spots because A, you won't have access. We have special keys to get there. And B, you don't know where it's at on the aircraft. Only us flight attendants know where it's at. And C, you'll get kicked off the plane and get in big trouble.
This is amazing.
So don't do it. Okay, so there could be flight attendants sleeping below your feet or above your head. So depending how long the flight is on miles, we get a rest. So half the crew will climb down these little steps or go up the steps, and they'll be able to sleep in these bunk beds. Here's just one little picture of it. They're super claustrophobic, really small, but usually they have a curtain so you have some privacy. You'll have to buckle in because there's turbulence, but after your rest is done, you get to swap with the other crew, and depending on your seniority, you get to choose what bunk bed and then what rest you go on.
No way!
Pilots also get theirs. It's in business class, so they're closest to the flight deck, but they get a rest too. Have you ever wondered how a flight attendant gets paid? Well, I'm going to tell you exactly how we get paid. Okay, starting off, when this boarding door is open, we're not getting planes. So we're getting on the plane and getting off the plane. We're not getting paid for that. What we get paid for is called in-flight hours. This is when the boarding door is closed, and that is our base pay. So make sure you're really nice to those flight attendants because we're not getting paid for that. What we do get paid though is something that's called per diem, and that's when we're on our trip. We're at a hotel, we're looking at the Eiffel Tower, we're in Boise, Idaho. It's about $1.50 to $2.50 depending on where you are in your destination. And you get that when you're eating, sleeping, whatever. Next thing is every flight attendant starts on the exact same pay. Doesn't matter your qualifications, everyone starts at the exact same rate. Another perk is if you get pregnant while you're a flight attendant, you can go out on immediate leave when you are pregnant and you get short-term disability pay. And then you have the option to stay out on leave until the baby is 1 year old.
Wow! Wow! I did not know. I'm sorry for not talking, but I was really listening. That was brilliant.
This definitely feels like I'm about to break a law. Oh no. It's so good. All the wasted years. I mean, I probably have more years on my life for not eating this for so long, but that might change soon.
Meat for the first time. No
way.
If
there's any vegetarians or vegans watching this right now, you could have a piece. You don't have to tell anybody. Let's see what I have been missing, huh?
Nuggets.
So just pop it right in. Okay, it's pretty good. Like,
I love chicken nuggets.
I thought it was going to be overrated. This is really good.
Sweet and sour sauce, though, mate.
Like, oh my gosh.
Sweet and sour sauce, always. He's got it as well.
Sweet and sour sauce. It's like the #1 thing I hear people say. I haven't even swallowed the first one. I'm excited for #2. Okay. Yeah.
It's good, isn't it?
Really good decision to eat these again. These are really nice. It's probably not a good thing that these are back in my diet, though. This one's for all my friends in the UK. Oh, that's heavenly. With a little tartare.
I thought vegetarians can eat fish.
I really love tartar sauce. Is this like a ridiculous amount? I feel like I'm insane.
I eat it all.
I told myself I was only gonna have one piece because it's the new year and I'm on a diet. But oh man, I can't stop. It's just making my heart so happy. Shut up. This is unreal.
Oh no!
How is this legal? This is so tasty, I could cry right now. I feel like I just did something dirty. I had to sign a waiver to get this. Apparently it's that spicy. Oh my, I'm just kidding. It's not that bad. This thing is delicious. Some sauce and pickle action. Sweet Christ, is that tasty. I may have spoken a little too soon about it not being that spicy. It's kicking, but it's so good. Tennessee, you done something right. Like, it's weird how you worship Elvis's house, but this chicken is amazing. Ooh-wee. My lips are burning. That's hot. Sandwich looks like it has something to prove.
What the hell is that?
Okay,
Steak
you
and
made your
cheese.
point. Oh my god, this is so tasty. I get why people from Philly are just like so
Steak and cheese
intense.
Philly, yeah,
This is
nice.
all I ate. I would be at like 100 nonstop too. Like there's comfort food and then there's the Philly cheesesteak. It is filling cracks in my heart that I did not know was there. This sandwich could be a
my cholesterol.
therapist.
So a lot of you guys have been asking what made me start eating meat again. And I mean, the short answer is that I was just curious to see what I would feel like. And I have to say, after 3 years of not putting meat in my body, now that I've started again, it's kind of upsetting how much better I feel. Like, I feel great, and
no.
I don't think I'm going to go back to being a vegetarian.
Oh,
I'm
no.
not trying to say, this is just for me. You guys make your own decisions. I will say I have gotten some hate from my vegan friends. One person messaged me individually saying that they were disappointed in me. I was like, you know who hasn't had anything to say? The chickens. They have been very silent. In fact, for the entire 3 years that I was not eating them, they did not send a single thank you note, so.
Ouch.
Can I do Rick and Morty? Oh, yeah. I thought you'd never ask. I think we're going to go XL, because this is going to be chaos. Let's start with the portal. I want a shed load of acid green, some flash yellow on top of that, and a little disco white. Now with the weekly, I just want to give that a little spin. Yup, nice. Let's dry this off. Protect that with pink.
whoa.
I want a bunch of planets just kind of all over the place. Now I want these planets to be all different colours and textures. Gleaming pink and malachite. But why, you ask? Because we can. I think I want this one to be like a fire planet. I'm even going to try and put Earth in here too. Texture, mini continents, the ocean of course, and of course the weather. Because where would we be without the beautiful weather? Now let's give all these guys some highlights and shading. Now I need everyone to dry, please. Now we have everything covered. I want some more flash yellow here.
Dude, this
some
guy's
flame
good.
blue on top of that. Now we're covering the top half in black. And we're fading that into a blue. A streak of white going right up the middle. I'm making a crumply little bar. I'm just going to use that to create some sort of interesting looking nebula here. Sticky! And stars. You can come off. Now I'm using that flash yellow and acid green to blend the portal back into our scene. Okay, royal red about here and then leading into up here. And some orange over that. And black over all of that. I think this is probably the coolest cliff face you've ever seen. I just want some little smidgens of black here and here. Now I want a little bit of water here.
What the?
Waterfall. Sploosh,
I do-
spiloosh.
I
Just a
use
little more
cans a lot,
portal
but-
mist. Now I want a foreground for Rick and Morty to stand on. Now all that's left to do is get Rick and Morty laid down and let the boom fest commence. Boom, 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 and boom. Oh yeah, that looks so freaking
What?
awesome.
Oh, mate, he's cool.
This
he's
custom
really cool.
painting is for Natalie, and she wants me to paint the Hong Kong city skyline in red and blue. Let's go. She also wants a planet behind it, so let's start with that. We'll have some fire red up round here, and some flame blue down here. We'll have some crackle black over the top of that. And we'll just dry this off real quick. White highlight, black shadow. Cover that up with a plate. I want to fill this area with the colours I want my city to be. Some streaks of red going through that blue. Now we cover everything in black. More flame blue up through here. Streak of the red through that. Using a straight edge, I'm just going to put a streak of white all the way through that.
Yeah, he's really good.
Sticky! Flick a few stars.
Great
A
blends.
little white shine on here. You can come off. Ooh, nice. Just add a little more effect to this. Okay, buildings. Now, like most cityscapes, Hong Kong's buildings are quite generic, but I think there's a few in there I can pick out that are going to look cool. To shade this layer out, I can start on the next one. Now you notice before I had some overspill on the colour. That was intentional. I'm going to take my scraper here
Mate, this
and
guy.
just randomly do some things here. Okay, now I need this guy. We're going to put him down here. Now I want some black here and here, some white across the middle, the red here and here, blue here and here. Now I'm going to take my straight edge, dip it down, and give it a little jiggle. Now you're probably thinking, Tom, what about all those lines you scratched in? Well, it's hard to see it here, but you can
Bloody
see
hell.
some of the faint lines and that's the reflections of the buildings. You get it? I'm going to shoot the straight edge across the top for a nice misty waterline. I'm going to hit this foreground with a little white first, and coming back in with the blue and the red. I'll cover all that in black. Grab some of that little weekly and crumple it up. And I'm just using that to create some texture through here. With my trusty palette knife, I'm going to come in and I'm going to start carving out some real details.
So I'm not
dragging
talking,
and letting gravity kind of do the work for me to create that cool looking outline. Another bit of white mist here, squiggle mad diggle, and boom. If I've offended half of Hong Kong here, then I'm sorry, but it's the effort that counts.